let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about something new and exciting. Let's talk about angles. See, because up until this point, everything that you drew was either a horizontal plane or a vertical plane, right? There was nothing on an angle. Well, we're going to change that now. So, let's find a good color for our angled stuff. I think yellow would be nice. All right. What do you think? What is this thing going to look like from the front? And what does this thing look like from the top? And what's it going to look like from the side? Any ideas? Any thoughts? Can you visualize it to flip it around in your brain and to get an idea clearly of what the front view is going to look like? Well, if you can, that's great. And you know what? If you can't, don't sweat it, right? You're developing your ability to visualize. So, what do we see in the front view? We see a right triangle. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my sketching paper, and I'm going to set up my bracket, and I'm going to draw that right triangle. And that is my front view. Now, projection. What do we know about projection? Well, here's a corner, it went up. Here's a corner, it went up. Here's a corner, it's going to go up, right? And these two corners go over, so this corner also goes over. So those are our basic projection lines. What about the shapes, though? What about that top shape? What shape do you think it's going to be when we look straight down on it? Now, this might be a little surprising to you. Check it out. See, the shape looking straight down on it is a rectangle. Is that a surprise? Were you expecting something different, maybe? How about this? How about if we look at it from the right side? What shape are we going to get? See, got another rectangle. And again, I think for some people, that's going to be surprising. Okay, but think about it like this. Were you ever an adventurous kid with a bicycle or a razor scooter or some rollerblades, and you decided you wanted to jump through the air? Didn't you go get a piece of plywood or a board and maybe put it on a brick or a couple of rocks or a log to make a ramp? Well, think about it. What was the shape of that ramp? More than likely was rectangular, right? So it shouldn't be a huge surprise when we go over to our drawing and realize that the top is simply a rectangle. And the right side is also a rectangle. Okay, there is nothing in the right side or the top that tells you that this is a slope. Okay, there's no little arrow pointing down, there's no shading or shadow, there's no highlight, there's no clues that tell you this is a ramp. The only thing that tells you a ramp is this front view, right? So without the front view, you might not know what this thing was, but with the front view, we can see that this is a ramp. Now, I'd say this is surprising for some people. Maybe it wasn't for you, but I always get students that want to do, I don't know, weird things when we start drawing these. And I kind of blame it on art. In art, we try to make things look very realistic. So I've had lots of students that when we get to this kind of a drawing, we'll do this for the side view. Yeah, can you imagine why they're doing that? Why they're making it smaller at the top than at the bottom? You know, and they might even do the same thing up here. They might make it smaller at the low end than the high end. Okay, why would you do that? Well, again, I blame it on art because in art we try to capture the essence of things, how they really look. And you know, if you were standing at the bottom of a long ramp, it might look like it gets smaller as it goes away from us. See, I blame this perspective. The idea that the train tracks look wide apart when they're close to you, and they look like they almost touch way at the end as they go away from us. Right? So this is an artifact called perspective, and the idea is things appear to get smaller as they go away. Here someone has drawn some stairs in perspective, and do you see how it looks like the stairs are getting narrower as they get toward the top of the staircase here? Yeah, but in reality, this stair is just as wide as this stair here. What's happening is a little optical illusion. Now, that would be fine in an art class, okay? But we're not trying to draw things like in an art class. Here's another one. Look at this street. It's wide here, and narrower there, and narrower there, and even narrower back there, right? So if we were drawing it in an art class, we would try to aim for realism and aim for perspective, but we're not. We're trying to draw the true shapes, right? So the true shape of the front is a right triangle. The true shape of the top is a rectangle, and the true shape of the side is a rectangle. There's no trapezoids anywhere on this. You know, here's another one, right? This is a ski ramp, a ski jump. Do you see how wide it is where you are? And do you see how it looks like it gets tapered as it goes further away from us? 150, 200 feet downstream. It looks like it got narrower, even though it really doesn't. Okay, so, hey, nothing wrong with art. I love art, okay? But leave the trapezoids in the art class, and for this class, focus on what is the true shape that we're working with. And in this case, rectangles. For our next example, make it nice and simple. We'll go back to our simple little block shape, and I'll draw a bevel on the corner here, a chamfer, and then push it through. And we'll get our angled face color. So now, can you visualize what the front view is going to look like? How about the top view? And then how about the right side view? Can you kind of string together what those views are going to look like based on what you see on the screen? Can you imagine the different shapes that are involved? Okay. Gonna head over here to mission control. I'm gonna set up my bracket. And I'm going to set up my front view. And my front view looks like a square with the corner chamfered off. Easy, right? And then projection time. Project up, project up, project over, project over. What should we get when we look down on this thing from above? Okay, so we have the horizontal flat plane there, the green one, but we also have the angled plane, right? So we have two rectangles. Two rectangles. Very good. And then how about the side view? What are we going to get for our side view? Again, let's take a look. Two rectangles again, but this time they're on top of each other instead of next to each other. Any hidden lines? Absolutely not. Right? There's nothing hidden. All the corners are projected into each view. This is a terrible drawing. My apologies. Just understand I'm standing on a step stool at home in the corner of my bedroom under, well, I'll have to show you a picture of my camera setup. You won't even believe it. Okay, I think you'll forgive me though when you see it. So, this is our setup that shows our chamfer. That's the chamfered face there, and that's the chamfered face there.